from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee in my coffee with Ginno cup here. This time it's gonna be a Nescafe French vanilla. It's got French vanilla flavor. I got this from my good friend Ivan. He brought this to me, a box of this from Canada when he moved here to the Philippines back in May. He's been here now 6 months. He's been here 6 months now, living in Iloilo City with his family. Shout out Ivan. Ivan's got a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. And the 7-year-old is now going to school at the Ateneo de Iloilo. Really doing well. She's got Kumon. She's actually learning Mandarin. Mandarin Chinese is one of the subjects that she has in Ateneo de Iloilo. But I'm saving it. I'm cherishing it. He gave me a whole box, but I think I got like 6 left. I kind of like drink it like once a week, like as a treat. I also have malunggay pandesal this morning. There's my malunggay pandesal. I've already been eating a couple. I'm on my third one. And here in the Philippines, you're a true Filipino once you start dunking your pandesal. You dunk it in your coffee, get a little wet there with your coffee. Delicious. Any coffee, you gotta dunk your pandesal. You become a real Filipino when you do that. Kevin Shores, good morning, Kevin Shores. Alan, hey Alan, my good friend in Texas. Hello, good morning. Billy Meyer, good morning. Wow, everybody's up. Well, it is kind of late because I already took Leanna to school. And it was pouring. When I got my pandesal and then when I dropped off Leanna. Let me show you real quick outside. It is pouring rain outside right now. But I like the rain, it's like rain doesn't bother me, it's like actually cools off. Right there, look at that. Just rainy morning here today. No typhoon. I don't think we have a typhoon, but there was a low pressure area. Look at that rain, man. That is rain. That's a good rain right there. That is like I love this rain here. We get cooler temperatures when it's raining like this. Let me just open my screen door here so you guys can see it. Man, that is coming down hard, man. That's coming down hard. I love it. I love the rain here, the sunny weather. We've been having sunny weather like the past 3 days. So we're probably overdue for some rain. That's why it's coming down hard this morning. Let me go back inside. Oh, let me show you real quick. There's Dazzle's new motorbike. We gotta get a real cover for it, like a real motorcycle cover. Right now, it's just got a tarp. It's just got clothespins on it. But let me get back here, read the comments. But pouring rain here this morning. I'm glad I got Leanna to school just in time before it really came down hard. Belus, good morning, Belus. Let me close the door because that's even the sound of the rain, man. Good morning, rain in Leyte. Yeah, it's pouring, man. It's pouring here, Belus. Same weather here. I'm drinking some Earl Grey. Ooh, Earl Grey. I haven't tried that. I gotta get me some of that Earl. I'm a tea drinker, coffee drinker. Especially when it's raining like this. I love. From HEB. Yeah, I remember HEB. I lived in San Antonio for 1995 to 1999. I was living in San Antonio, Texas. Shekel fan. All right, 7. No, I try to limit my 7-Eleven coffee like once a week now. I got the 3-in-1. This today is this one 3-in-1 Nescafe French vanilla. Came from Canada. This one's got even like, it says here, vanille Francaise. Like, it's in French. It's in French. This came all the way from Canada. My good friend Ivan, he knows I like French vanilla, so he bought me a box of this 3-in-1 coffee from Canada, Nescafe French vanilla. Hello everyone, Peanut Butter Travels. All right, Peanut Butter Travels. Thank you for always joining the live stream. I appreciate it, my friend. Charlie Lance, Charlotte, my good friend in Boston. My good friend in Boston. Sounds like it's raining there. Yes, coming down pretty good here. Rain this morning. I made it to Leanna's school. That took her. We drove the car, and no bumblebee when it's raining. We got her there in school, so all good, all good. Hi, good morning, DCPI. All right. Hey Bernie, my good friend in Canada. Good morning from Saskatchewan, Canada. Love my pandesal. Dunk. I know, right? You gotta dunk that pandesal, man. You gotta dunk that pandesal into the coffee. You just like dip that a little bit there. Get a little bit of that coffee in your pandesal. Take a bite. That is the way to go. That is the way to go. J-Boy, good morning, Ginno, good morning. John Vasquez with the alien, all right, man. I like that little alien that you always put in there, man. JP, hello, Ginno and everyone. Hello, JP. Rep Fred, good morning, bro. I am looking forward to having pandesal. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's like, that's like, I think most Filipinos get pandesal with their coffee in the morning, and sometimes the leftover pandesal for merienda around 3 p.m. It's raining here also in Tagbilaran, Bohol. Everybody's getting rain this morning. Must be. I'm gonna go through the weather here. I do have the weather report here on my phone, so I got the Pag-asa website. It says here, Intertropical Convergence Zone, ITCZ, affecting Palawan, Visayas, and Mindanao. So that's what's causing the rain. This ITCZ. Visayas, Mindanao, and Palawan. Cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. They weren't lying, man. They weren't lying. We got some rain here. Batanes and Babuyan Island, partly cloudy skies with isolated light rains from the northeast monsoon. And Metro Manila, partly cloudy, rest of Luzon with isolated rain showers. So rainy day, pretty much the entire Philippines today. Rainy in the Philippines. There's mom. Sure.
Wala naman low pressure there.
I don't think it's a low pressure. It's just typical like habagat, maybe habagat, amihan, yeah, that kind of thing today. But it came down pretty good. You got pandesal.
Oh, hindi ako.
Yep, down here in Bohol too. Oh, for Ted, yeah. Bohol and Leyte, they're raining there. The LV and Ted in Journeys in Bohol. We're gonna have flash floods here in Southern California. I have seen that more often on like YouTube, how you get flash floods in California. I don't remember much. I lived in Long Beach. I don't remember, I guess in the mountain area, right? The valley, I'm sure. But in Long Beach, we never had like when I lived there back in the 80s. It's been a long time since I lived in Southern California. Kevin Shores, we might. Belus, JB, Rep Fred. I like rain, especially for sleeping. Yes, us too here. Us too. Everybody, I think, Good sleeping weather for sure today. Hi, Annie from Southern California, now in Bohol. All right. Uy, it moved up. It moved up. It like speeded up. Asawa ko, sabihin, magandang gabi from Ohio. All right, David, magandang gabi from Ohio. Good evening. Good evening from Ohio. Hi, the DCPI from Bohol too. Buena Vista, Bohol. Hello everyone from David, Daniel Kelly. This man saved, all right, oh, man, I don't know how, I don't know how you saved my life, brother, but I finally found good dark beans roasted in the Philippines. We'll make the switch from Starbucks to this local bean. Took 5, oh wow, Belize, congratulations. I mean, there's many dark beans here. I'm glad you found it though, man. I've tried many different local beans, local coffee. Like when we went to Baguio, I like Benguet coffee. I've had that. In Batangas, I've had Barako, pretty strong. But most of the time, like in Iloilo, like the local here, it's called Robusta. I think a lot of it from Mindanao, but you know, once in a while I dabble in like the fancy coffee, like a cafes and coffee shop. Once a week. You know, it's still pricey here. It's still about 120 for a nice brewed coffee at a cafe here. About $2, you know. Ginno, we need you to convince James and Karen to fix the road. I'm sure. All right, Alan. I'm sure he will. I'm sure. I've heard, you know, on the live stream, you know, that James is gonna put rocks and sand, and I'm sure eventually, you know, they're building homes, right? James built a home. The neighbor built, you know. I'm sure pretty soon they'll build they'll pave a cement road. I think James just likes it, man. James likes mud on the motorbikes, and I think he just likes it. Like he actually, you know, I get the feeling, you know, Karen always likes to clean, you know, always like spray wash, you know, that the motorbike, soap it, wash it. You know, for James, I think the mud is like a badge of honor. You know, James prefers it muddy. You know, it's like to me, if it's muddy, it means like it's been through like a muddy area. You know, rough road. You know, off dirt bike. You know, that's kind of how James looks at it. But here in the Philippines, man, everybody like cleans their motorbikes, polish it with wax. My neighbors here, you know, like Kuya Rex, he's always like polishing his motorbike, like underneath a garage, cover it. You know, they treat motorbikes here like, you know, it's like prized possession. I can't blame them, you know. They're not cheap, even here. Their motorbikes are not cheap, especially most Filipinos, you know, that's a big investment for them when they buy a motorbike. I sent my former coworkers, it's funny, I slept in, message at first break. Am I bad? No, JP, you're not bad, man. Hey, man, I'm sure they got a laugh out of it. I'm sure they got a smile. I'm sure they're happy for you. Rev Fred, we are having snow in Quebec, Canada, and also rain. That's right. We're hit November, December. You know, that's like winter, you know, winter. I did see my friend in Canada, David. He did send me a video that he was changing. He was changing his tires. He's got like winter tires. He's got 2 sets of tires, and he was like doing it himself. He's got a nice driveway. He had his car like on a jack. He's got a Mustang. He's got a Mustang also. That's why I think that's how we connected with each other, because he drives a Mustang, and I've always, you know, Mustang has always been my favorite car. Belus looks like a karaoke and snuggle. Oh yeah, past 2. All right, Mom. Belus said it should be like a karaoke day today for you and Dazzle. Yeah, I'll participate. If they do karaoke tonight, I'll participate. Sounds like, it's be a good night, like you said, inside the house. Good morning, Angeli. All right.
Morning.
JP said, there you go. She's having coffee. She's eating
okay.
pandesal, like me. I'm eating pandesal. I got a whole, this bag right here is 50 pesos, and it comes with like 10 pandesal. They're good sized pandesal too. They're not tiny. They're not like, they're pretty good, decent sized pandesal. So 50 pesos for like a bag, 10 pieces. We'll go through that pandesal today. Between mom and I and dad, they'll be gone. It won't make it till the afternoon. Ray, hey, all right, Ray, my good friend in Sacramento, welcome back. I know you've been busy, brother. I understand. And Ray here, he's like a color guard. He's retired United States Air Force like me, but he still does the honor guard, color guard, VFW. He's very involved with American Legion, VFW in Northern California. I finally got back to join. All right, and I'm glad you're back. Yeah. We miss you, Ray. But I'm happy. I know you're busy, man. You're doing your thing, man. I'm watching. We're friends on Facebook, so Ray, I see all the activities with the American Legion, VFW. Ray does a lot for the community in Northern California. It's the rainy season here in California. And we're same here, man. We're we got rain this morning. I'll sing rain songs all day. All right, Belize. I'm singing in the rain. I might sing that tonight, man. I think I know that song a little bit. Singing in the rain. We'll have to do that. We'll have to do that later. J-Boy, Mom can't. Oh, I know. See, they watched the live stream, Mom, because you can't do your hobby today, doing laundry.
Because it's raining outside.
Because it's raining outside.
Yeah.
All our clothes dried yesterday because
yeah.
yesterday was super sunny. It's been sunny here.
Wala akong lalaban, Ate.
Oh, right. She doesn't have any laundry today. She doesn't have laundry today. She finished it yesterday. And then the last 3 days has been beautiful weather here. I actually got a message from Stevie. Stevie, he went fishing already.
Oh?
Yeah. Stevie went fishing.
We're in the port?
Yeah, in the port,
Oh,
at the
wow.
Tabon port. Yeah. Where Stevie lives, that video I came out with, I picked him up at the airport. Stevie's kind of camera shy, and I told him, no worries. I'm never pressure people. Like if they don't want me to film them, that's not a problem. But that when we picked him up, he was jet lag, of course. Flew from Seattle, waiting time. It flew to Manila. And then flew to Boracay, to Boracay Airport in Categlan. So he was pretty tired. I could tell, but I wish I could have taken a picture at least of his smile. I mean, he was so happy to see me in person. He was like, you could tell he was just, he couldn't believe. And, me and Stevie, we've been communicating for like 3 years. And, I've been encouraging him. He about 3 years ago, he told me, he always wanted to visit the Philippines. Stevie's originally born and raised in Hawaii, and then when he joined the Air Force, 4 years. He did time in the Air Force for 4 years, and then when he got out of the military, he ended up in the Washington State area, and he's been working. He was a truck driver for many years. I think 15 years. He was a truck driver, so he's lived in like Washington State, traveled the U.S. Never went back to Hawaii actually after he joined the military. But he was just telling me, man, it's like he loves like watching. His favorite is like watching these Filipino videos on fishing. Where people go out in tiny bangka and then they catch gigantic squid, fish, crabbing. People go crabbing. And he told me he's always wanted to do that, And Stevie's like, he's older than me. He's already like Social Security age. So he's like, I told him, and I keep telling him, man, if you can swing it, you need to do it, even just for a visit. Like he plans on spending, a few months here. I think as long as he's got money, I think he'll stay here. But of course, he's not collecting Social Security yet. I think he's waiting for like full Social Security to collect full retirement age. I think 67. I think 67 is what he's thinking. But I told him, man, it's like, you got to make your dreams happen. It's like, you don't want to wait till 67 and then, you're not sure at 67 if you're going to be able to do these things, fishing, crabbing, all this stuff, it's like, so finally he made the leap, finally he made the jump. He's actually been living in a van. He gave up his apartment to save money. He gave up his apartment. He's been living in a van in Washington State for like the last 6 months. And he's been camping, like lakes in Washington State. And he would go fishing and he would eat that, what he fished, So I told him, man, you're like prepping for the Philippines. So I knew the day after he got here, he was already fishing, and I know he's going to be fishing a lot in Caticlan. I'm sure he'll meet the locals also. The locals there love fishing too. I see people fishing with rod and reel in Caticlan too. So I'm sure he's gonna meet many people there.
Maybe he met already needs.
Yeah, needs. Our nephew needs. I was gonna connect them. Stevie hasn't gotten a SIM card. He forgot to buy a SIM card at the airport in Manila. I thought he did, because we were texting, and I guess the excitement, and then he's traveling, he's tired. He forgot to buy a SIM card for his phone. So I think today, good thing that his landlord is a good friend of mine. They're that nice couple, and they've been friends of mine for many years now. We used to play what's that board game where we throw cornhole. We used to play cornhole with them. Maricel, we used to play cornhole, and Maricel's partner Gary, he's an American. So he's in good hands. Those people, they're gonna watch out for him too. I'm glad that I was able to secure that furnished apartment for him. And the furnished apartment is like, Stevie always told me, this is exactly what he was looking for. It's like perfect, 8,000 pesos. 8,000 pesos for that furnished apartment. $135 a month. 5 minutes walk to Tabon Beach and Tabon Port. And Tabon Beach, that's the beach that Dazzle grew up in. Yeah. That's like the neighborhood. That's the hood for Dazzle. Tabon Beach is white beach. It's like white sand. It's not like dark sand. It's clean water. People the nephews and all of them, they swim there all the time. Red, God bless. JP, all right. Derek, Lackland Air Force Base is by... Yes. When I was, of course, I went through basic training like everybody. I was in Air Force, basic training at Lackland Air Force Base. But when I was stationed there, 1995 to 1999, I was stationed at Brooks Air Force Base. I was a part of it. Was called the Enhanced Flight Screening Special Duty Assignment for me, but it's still medical. Armstrong Lab is where I worked there, and pretty much what we did is like we had a lot of experiments with like fighter pilots, test pilots. Actually, Chuck Yeager was one of our. We monitored Chuck Yeager. He would come every year, complete physical. All the test pilots back in the day, the military still tracks them. Like make sure whatever they did test piloting, it's not affecting their. But we had the centrifuge. We would put people on the centrifuge because basically, if you wanted to become a pilot in the United States Air Force, you got to come through our program, and it was called the Enhanced Flight Screening Program. We check them for neuropsychiatry testing, make sure their head is straight, eyes, corneal topography, make sure they didn't fix their eyes, because you have to have 20/20 at the time anyway. When I was part of the program, you can't have surgery to correct your vision. I don't know what, but that policy was. And then make sure their heart, we did echocardiograms on their heart. We just did a lot of testing on them. Before the Air Force puts you in one of those fighter jets, before they allow you to fly those jets, they have to make sure that your body's able to take that flying, because it's very demanding to pull those amount of G's on those fighter jets. Cool job for me. It was one of the best jobs I had in the military, because I basically, when I left that base, when I left Brooks, when I went to Misawa Air Base, Japan, my last assignment was Misawa Air Base, Japan. All the new pilots that came in through Misawa, they would recognize me. They go, "Man, I remember you. You used to torture us." They remember me in our program at the Brooks Air Force Base. Some areas in LBC do get flooded. Okay, it's been a while. Like I said, I lived when I left Long Beach. I joined the military 1980. I lived there 78 till 84. So it's 84. That's like what 40. It's like 40 plus years when I left Long Beach. So I'm sure it doesn't even look like the Long Beach I remember. I'm sure when I joined the military, I would visit, but I think the last time I got to visit Long Beach was like 87. I think 87 was the last time I saw Long Beach. The military just took me everywhere. Once you join the military, took me to Korea, to Japan, to the Philippines, to Louisiana, to Texas. It's like I never was able to go back to Long Beach. And then my family, they did a big migration. A lot of my family moved to California from the Philippines in the 80s. Most of them Southern California. That was like, and then towards like the late 80s, beginning of the 90s, they all moved to Texas. They all moved to like Houston, Texas, everybody, because I guess California is so expensive even back then, in taxes, they kill you with taxes in California, probably like the highest taxes. So one of my relatives moved to Houston, and they were told our other relatives, "Hey, Texas has no state tax. It's like cheaper homes here. You can sell your home in California, move to Texas." And they did. A big migration we went from the Philippines to California, then from California to Texas. So now most of them live in Houston, Texas. JP, I started to listening to the sound of the rain for sleeping over a year ago. Oh, man, it's soothing, very soothing. The sound of rain. It's like I love like perfect coffee weather, perfect sleeping weather. Belus says hello all, salute. JP Belus, all right. Dean, good morning, Dean. I saw your message real quick on my phone, but I can't check it. My WhatsApp is on this phone, and so I'll check it, Dean. My friend in Colorado Springs. That was part of our program, part of our enhanced flight screening with the Air Force. My job was like every year I would go temporary duty to Colorado Springs at the academy. We would spend a couple of weeks at the academy, and we would screen the cadets, because cadets want to be pilots too. So we used to do the same screening we did at Brooks Air Force Base. We would go up to the academy and do the testing on the cadets that wanted to become pilots. Your guys are going to have another powerful storm coming also. Another part coming as well. All right, I'll have to it's not yet on the Pag-asa website. Maybe I can track it at the Windy app. Once it gets near. Right now, there's not a typhoon that's in the Philippine area of responsibility, but I can always check. I got my laptop here. I can always check on the Windy app. I use the Windy app here for stuff like that, to track. It's a good website to use here in the Philippines if you're interested in tracking the path, the eye of the typhoon or hurricane. Usually I use the Windy app. Right now, it's not showing anything on the Windy app as far as like inside the Philippine area of responsibility. Right there, it's like the Windy app. Really cool app. If you should check it out, it's called Windy app. And right now, there's nothing. I don't see any typhoon, anything like that in the Philippine area. It's clear. It's clear right now. Right now, it's just the inter something. I forget the word. It's just the inter.
Conversation.
Yeah, mom
That's
saying.
amihan.
Yeah, right now it's called the Intertropical Convergence Zone. Yeah, ITCZ. You know, that's what's causing there. And I'm looking at the Windy app. There's like wind coming down the Philippines, coming east of the Philippines, going west below. You know, so I guess this whole movement of the wind is causing rain right now. JP, I like my coffee medium roasted, Morena brown, please. Hey, you can have it any way you want it here, JP. They have one thing about the Philippines, I would say within the last few years, you know, for some reason, the Philippines has become like a coffee drinking nation. Maybe because of Starbucks, you know, maybe Starbucks started it because here in the Philippines, when Starbucks came, I mean, there's Starbucks everywhere in the Philippines, mostly, especially in the big cities, several Starbucks. And I think when that came in, you know, it was more like a status. You know, you're drinking Starbucks, you're getting your photo taken, you know, Instagram or whatever, doing TikTok on Starbucks. But now, you know, it's caught on. A lot of local cafes, like even here in Calibo, we got like, man, we got Cafe Latte, of course, they were the first one. Now we got Cafe Argon, Tierra Vega, Iyagi Cafe, so many cafes. And the cafes, when you go in there, JP, they got beans for like different parts of the Philippines and then different parts of the world. You know, you can even have Hawaii beans in there. You got like Malaysian beans, Indonesian, you know, you name it. And then you can just order it. I want that beans right there. They'll grind it for you. They'll make your coffee the way you want it. And about 120 pesos, about $2 for a special, like brewed coffee for you know, to order one. So really still good price. And they have all the same, you know, things that Starbucks do. You know, if you want oat milk, if you want soy milk, if you want non-fat, you know, I mean, all that stuff is here now. They basically copied Starbucks. Whatever you get at Starbucks, you can get at cafes now. Even here in Calibo, you can get it. You know, barista, you know, but they got, you know, it's like there's a government program here. What's that government program called if you're studying like barista or to become like TESDA. They have a government program here in the Philippines called TESDA, TESDA. And with TESDA, it's the government free. The government, it's a government program. They actually give the students an allowance. You don't even have to be a high school graduate to do TESDA. Basically, it's like vocational school. And so many courses, and one of it is barista. Barista is very popular, TESDA, and then bartending is very popular, you know, because, you know, we're a tropical nation, you know, there's a demand for bartenders here, and barista now, big demand. So the government here will send you for free to become a barista to school, teach you how to become a barista, even give them allowance, like food allowance. You know, there's some good things that the government does here. It's not all corruption. It's not all corruption now. Manila Gorilla. Morning all. I love that name. And I see you at our friends like, you know, at Ray in the Philippines, something simple. I see you in different live stream. I love the name, Manila Gorilla. It's got a nice, smooth, very creative name, man. Manila Gorilla. It's kind of like the thriller in Manila. That's what it reminds me, man. LV, We get our beans on Shopee. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, thank you, Ted, for letting. Me, man, I guess, I'm just so frugal, man. I'm happy with like the 3-in-1s, and it's like what I do is, I save the beans and all that when I go to a cafe. That I treat myself at least once a week. I go, but the Copico Blanca, Nescafe, I'm good with that at home. We don't brew coffee at home, but when I do go to a cafe, it's kind of like a special treat for me. Like at least once a week, I go to a nice cafe in Calibo. I'm not as spoiled like I was when I lived in the U.S. When I lived in the U.S., man, I would drive through Starbucks on the way to work, and then even at work, there's like you can get lattes at the hospital where I work. They had latte and everything, but more frugal now. More frugal now. Yeah, Benguet and Batangas. I've had those. The Batangas is strong. That's like the Barako coffee here is what they call it. Very strong. The Barako coffee from Batangas. If you like dark, like strong coffee, I think that's the strongest coffee here. Benguet's got the smoother. I like the Benguet. Dazzle, I've taken Dazzle twice to Baguio City. And I saw my friend Mike and Kat and Lara, that Philippines Life, they made it to Baguio City. We knew that that was their next trip, and they may have a video about it right now, so you can check out the video. They flew to Manila, and then he drove up to Baguio City. Baguio City, like Michael was saying on the video, it's like it's not just a vacation place for expats or foreigners. That's like one of the #1 places for Filipinos, especially during the summer months. If you go there during the summer months, March, April, May, man, it's super packed, super crowded. Actually, now is a good time to go there. November and December in Baguio City is the coldest it gets there. I can actually say it gets cold there because when you're in Baguio, like November, December, especially December, people you need a jacket. But during the summer, like March, April, May, I got by wearing just shorts and t-shirt. But one time, Dazzle and I went there in December. I actually had a long sleeve hoodie. I actually wore a hoodie. I mean, it's not cold like America cold, but it was like cool enough to wear a hoodie. For me anyway. Negros too, I know, Ted. I know Negros because when last time I was in Iloilo City, I went to a cafe and I was filming the cafe, and most of their beans came from Negros and Mindanao. I saw that. I'm always checking it out, man. I guess I'm a coffee aficionado, so when I do. I do like going to a nice coffee shop and I check out the beans and I find it interesting. Lowell, kumusta from Oregon? Mabuti ako, kaibigan. Lowell, mabuhay. God bless, my brother. Hope everything's good. Lowell. I know you got recovery. I'm sure you got physical therapy. Get healthy, brother. Get healthy. Rev Fred. So, did you buy one? Yes, I always do. I always get the guard. I always get 100 pesos, and every time I hand the security guards at the gate, they always have a smile. It's like, and I love that. They do so much for our. That's a little token. It's like little token for me to every time I buy pandesal, I also get by the gate guard. Because it said every time. Yeah, I do, man. You always buy, and yep, I always do. That's why they actually put it on a plastic bag. It's like, they put the 2 bags, and then I just hand the security guards one of the bags. Lowell, what is the rent as the apartment you just showed versus Española? The rent for Stevie, the studio apartment, and not many units there, as you can see. It's like 3 stories. I think they only have 2 units, maybe 4 units in there. And studio apartments, small apartments, is 8,000 pesos for that studio apartment. So about $135 a month. But it's furnished, it's got a stove. You saw it's got an oven. And what's nice about the gas range is gas oven, right? 3 gas oven, but there's one that's like electric. I've never seen that before where there's 3 burners that are gas and then 1 electric. So, if you don't like using gas, you can just use that one burner. But La Casa Española in Calibo, that's a legit apartment. That's like, there's maintenance guys that maintain it. There's a front desk, CCTV. I mean, it's just like there's people working there to like, they'll even clean your room. If you want to clean your apartment, they got people there. This one, the apartment he got, it's belongs to a friend of ours, and they're just renting out rooms. They're renting out rooms. It's, the thing about Catiglan, that's why I think, it was meant to be for Stevie, because I've been looking for an apartment for Stevie in Catiglan for a few months now, and I couldn't find it, because Catiglan, where Stevie is, it's only 15 minutes to Boracay Island. So if you can imagine, there's a lot of a big demand for apartments there, because the rent in, the comparison, you can get that same apartment where Stevie is staying at, that's 8,000 a month, 15 minutes away by boat to Boracay. It's gonna double the price just because it's in Boracay. So that's why a lot of people, and then limited apartments now too in Boracay. So a lot of people, all the apartments in Catiglan get sold out fast, because you're a 15-minute boat ride to Boracay. It's like how convenient is that, to go to Boracay. We do that bread for breaks. Yes, a pandesal, right, Belus? We have a bakery, has a trike comes right. I know we have the same thing. It's like the rolling pandesal, rolling malunggay. It's a motorbike. The oven is in the middle, propane tank, and then the display is like standing on the glass. So the guy on the motorcycle cooks the pandesal and puts it on trays and then sells it. We have very popular now too, very popular in our province. But this one, I get it from my favorite. There's a place in Numancia that's my favorite spot. I mean, you know how it is. You find one that you really like. The people are friendly, it's like, and they're not the same. The several Balungay Pandesal places, they all make it a little different from each other. So once you find the one you like, I kind of stick to the one that I like. Oh yeah, the workers love that, and coffee on breaks for sure, man. It's a Filipino thing, man. It's like pandesal and coffee. I mean, that's like, it's hard to find a Filipino that doesn't like that. Yes, Derek. Good. I did too. I watched the video earlier. That Philippines life. Michael and Kat and Lara. They're in Baguio. If you come to the Philippines, Baguio City actually, when I did my recon in 2010, and then moved here to Boracay, ended up in Boracay. Those were my top 2. Boracay was my number 1. Baguio was my number 2, because I do love coffee. Cooler temperatures. It's like you don't have to use air conditioning so much, save on electricity, and I like the view in Baguio. It's more crowded now. It's more commercialized. There's malls now, SM Mall. But you can still find pockets in Baguio where what I remember Baguio like in the 70s. There's still areas like Camp John Hay, the old U.S. Military recreation base. There's cafes away from away from Burham Park, away from like the main city. There's areas in Baguio where if you find those nice little cafes, nice areas, it just takes you back in time, because you'll see like just mountains. There's some pine trees still, not as much as it was back in the day, but and I like that. That's why it was my number two choice, but Boracay just won out because now I'm a beach person. I figure, the thing about Baguio, if you're in Baguio, you're far from a beach. You're far from a beach. You got to go down the mountain, all the way to like Pangasinan or La Union. So that's why I ended up in Boracay. But Baguio was like number two. It's like I actually, when I landed in Boracay, I was gonna do Boracay for 6 months, and I told myself if I didn't like Boracay, I was gonna go to Baguio because I only had a suitcase. I had a suitcase and a backpack. That's all I had when I moved to Boracay. So it wasn't hard for me to like get a plane ticket. J-Boy, did Stevie catch any film? Oh, I'm sure he did. Everybody that goes to the port and cast at the port, I always see them there. And it's different types of fish. A lot of the fish that it's not tilapia or it's not bangus because it's ocean water. They have like a long, like silver looking fish. They got the flat fish, it's like different kinds of fish. It's the ocean basically, and it's the beach. You can fish off the beach. You can fish off the pier. There's no license required here. You don't have to get a permit to fish right on the port or right on the beach here. The only place that you might need a permit to fish here, maybe Boracay Island, because like when you go to Boracay Island, every single thing in Boracay Island has a permit. If you can believe this, man. Even the guys that make the sand castles on Boracay, professional sand castles, they'll put the Boracay on it, the date on it, castle, and all, make a good big display of sand in the front beach. They got to get a permit. I'm like, a permit for a sand castle? They also have like in Boracay only, right? They even have a permit for you to go snorkeling. I've never heard of that, man. It's like snorkeling, you gotta get a permit to snorkel. I thought you can just put on your snorkel, start swimming in the ocean. But in Boracay is just special. Boracay is just special. Everything is regulated in Boracay. If you walk on Front Beach in Boracay, White Beach, they have this sign, right? Like metal sign, painted sign. There's about 20 items there that you can't do on the beach. It's like, that's why a lot of people, man, there's, you can't eat, you can't drink, maybe water bottle, maybe you can drink water on the beach, but you can't drink beer, you can't drink like soda, you can't drink none of that on the beach, you can't smoke, there's just so many things that are not allowed on White Beach, Boracay. I'll have to, today hopefully Stevie gets his SIM card because he actually contacted me on Maricel's phone because he forgot to get a SIM card at the airport. So my friend Maricel, his landlord, texted me and it was Stevie on the phone. And it's like, man, I went fishing, it's like, but I'm sure, Stevie, when he was in Washington State, he used to send me pictures all the time and he would catch a bluegill. He would send me pictures. He would catch bluegill and he would grill it. He would like grill it on his fire pit where he would camp with his van. So I knew Stevie would be fine here. I knew he would do great here because man, he was living in a van for 6 months. Living out in the elements. So it was good training for him. Now in the Philippines is easy for him. He's got an apartment. He's got AC. He's got hot water shower. Lowell, I got my 2-bedroom at La Casa. All right, thank you, JP. Right there, JP just posted. He's already reserved. He's gonna be staying at La Casa Española, 2-bedroom that JP chose. It's got TV. It's got free internet. He still has to pay electricity and water. There's a separate meter for electricity and water. But his 2-bedroom fully furnished kitchen, everything in the kitchen, like dishes, mugs, silverware, everything. It even has sheets. I have to bring sheet. If you want nicer sheets, if you want that Egyptian cotton or something like that, you'd have to get that. It's just typical like hotel type sheets and blankets, pillows, but $350. And if you've seen La Casa Española, it's the nicest apartment in Calibo. There's anything like it. It's well groomed. nice area, plants. Filipina is her name. Filipina is like the owner. She takes good care of the place. There's staff all the time at La Casa Española, making sure the grounds are there's because they also use it. It's not just apartment. It's also Airbnb. So if you want to stay at La Casa Española for 1 week or 2 weeks, you can. You can. And what I like about La Casa Española, that's why I always recommend it to people. I don't get a cut or anything like that. I don't get like a finder's fee. I recommend it because what I like about Philippine, I like about the complex, they do not ask for a security deposit. That is hard to find here in the Philippines. All condominiums, all apartments here at least ask for like 1 month security deposit. Sometimes 2 months security deposit. And some condos here actually, they want you to write a check to them every month for 12 months. So if you're starting your rent November, they want you to write a check, like a Philippine bank check for the rent for the next 12 months, post-dated. That way they just deposit every month, guaranteeing that they will get their money for the next 12 months. So what I like about La Casa Española, no security deposit. You just show up there, you rent it for a month. If you want the following month, you just keep extending, right? And then if you want to leave La Casa Española, you just got to give them 30-day notice. That's it. So if JP doesn't like it, he moves in December. In January, after 30 days, he doesn't like it. He just got to give them 30-day notice, pay the 1 month, and then leave. To me, it's like, I like that because sometimes you get stuck at these places that you don't like staying. After living there for a month, your neighbor might be like singing karaoke every night, or they're arguing, they're loud, things like that. So at least there, you have a quick out. You're not like locked in for like 6 months to a year at a location. Thanks, John. Lowell says, thanks, John. All right. Belus, thank the Lord for that hot sun. Yes, laundry. 3 big loads. Yeah, I know. When it rains, you really can't dry your laundry. I do most laundry, but cheap with Samsung front load. All right, Belus. You got that fancy Samsung laundry washer. Us, we got like the typical 8 kilogram plastic, but it washes it. And mom, when she washes it, she'll wash it on the machine, but she'll also like hand wash it, like scrub stains out of it. I mean, mom does a great job with the laundry. Like, that's her hobby. And her hobby is the laundry. She loves doing laundry. Lowell, I lived in St. Helens, Oregon for 2013, 2018. Love the fishing. All right, JP. I hear mom talking to somebody. Let me see. Oh, it's our water. Our drinking water guy came by to pick up our drinking water containers. Here, the drinking water containers, they come into like 5-gallon containers, blue containers. Actually, Dazzle just replaced our containers with purple. We got purple containers. That way, it can differentiate from what people use here. And the guy just picked it up, and then later on, he'll deliver it back. And the 5-gallon drinking water for us is 25 pesos each. So for the 4, he took 5 gallons, so 20 gallons. It's like 100 pesos, less than $2 for our drinking water. Usually that will last us a week, between the 4 of us. Lowell. All right, to my Panay Pasi, hey Daniel, hello Daniel, Panay Pasi Bros. Good morning everyone from the Colonel, hey Colonel. JP, Daniel, Belus, don't expect much sun. Oh no, I don't think we'll get sun in here either. It's kind of like those days where you just kind of take a lot of naps. I'm gonna be taking a nap here today. Maybe watch some Netflix when Dazzle wakes up. Maybe we'll watch Netflix. And it's Friday here, so it's Leanna's last day of school. We won't do Kumon today. Her Kumon will be tomorrow, Saturday morning is when I take her to her Kumon. Kumon is like an extra academic activity for Leanna. She goes there twice a week, and it's like an hour and a half each for her session. They study math, they study reading and comprehension in English. So it's just additional work for Leanna, but I think it's helping her. It's helping her. It can't hurt, more academic, more. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. It costs like 4,300 a month. So every week, twice a week. So 8 sessions a month, and it's about $80 for the Kumon here. GP, see if Stevie will send pictures of it. I will. I'll ask him. GP, so I can send them to you too, or I'll post it. I'm sure Stevie wouldn't mind posting fish pictures. And from what Dazzle tells me, he's really gonna enjoy, because that's the hood. That's the area where Dazzle grew up, Tabon Port, Tabon Beach. There's also like a river close by that goes into the ocean. So it's a mixture of like fresh water and salt water, the estuary area in Tabon. So I'm sure Dazzle was telling me there's different types of fish that they catch there, and also crab. So I'm sure Stevie will like investigate all that. So I'll ask him when I hopefully he gets a SIM today, and we can call or we can text each other more, so he can send me picture or wherever he buys. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll ask him whatever, because there's a local fishermen right there on Tabon Beach that they bring in their catch every day and they take it to the market. So Stevie can get it from the boat instead of the market. He'll know the deal. He's gonna get good deals from the local fishermen there. Probably gonna be like his drinking buddies. I'm not sure if he drinks though. I'm not sure, Steve. I'll have to ask him if he drinks Red Horse, because that's one way for Stevie to like really get to know the locals, if he starts drinking Red Horse with them. Daniel, hello JP and Ray. All right. Is Ray? Let me see. Ray in here? I was like, I didn't notice Ray. Okay, I didn't. Maybe it's a different Ray. Maybe it's a different Ray. Yes, sun in Leyte is a blessing. Any day, LV. Hello. All right. Graham. Is there any Mako? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, Graham. I do not know what that is. I've never seen that word before. I don't want to say it because sometimes people try to trick me to say things that are not good. Belus, Cruz will do painting indoors. We are doing no annual maintenance on the little castle. All right. Our house is like mini bomb shelter. LOL, I know. Yesterday I had Lelong. Lelong is his name. He's kind of like our handyman. He does construction, different types of projects in the house, and our carport that where mom does the laundry. It's like I used to keep Bumblebee in there. The polycarbonate roof on it. It's been 9 years, so it's on its last legs. So we're gonna replace that polycarbonate roofing. And Lelong recommended we use metal this time because I think it lasts longer. I think maybe so. He's gonna do that not today because it's raining. So he'll do it when it stops raining. You know how it is here, Belus. They'll do it whenever, right? It's no rush. Like he'll text me. He'll go, hey, I'll come over there and fix that for you today. I said, all right, come on over. But today he already sent me a message. He said his assistant that does the work with him, he said he didn't show up because it's raining today. Yep, was talking to James about living in Arizona and mining in the military fly zone our way. I used to love watching the planes practice. Crazy, I know, right? If you're in Arizona by Davis Mountain, that's the plane, the A-10s, the the ones with like the Gatling gun in the front, you know, and they make that sound like, it's like a Gatling machine gun in the front. That was the planes that were in Arizona. Anyway, in Tucson, the in Tucson area. You know, I think they had regular jets over at Kirkland in the Phoenix area. Belus. Back in the 80s, we had EA-6 Prowlers flying down the Columbia River Gorge while we were fishing. Oh man, that would have been cool, man. That would have been cool, JB. I always wondered how many times I got practice bomb. By a laser. You got targeted. You got targeted. That's funny, JB. If I didn't join the Navy, I would not have met my wife in the Philippines. Subic Bay, been married 40 years. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Derek. Man, that's awesome. Subic Bay, I've been there I was stationed at Clark Air Base, and I would go to Subic Bay. And I've been back, Barrio Barreto area, inside the naval base. It's called SMBC or SMD. It's a corporation now inside the base. But you see remnants. You see remnants of the old base there in Subic, like the housing area, enlisted housing, officer housing area, QB Point. I actually, during a Mount Pinatubo evacuation in 1991, I had to evacuate to QB Point from Clark. And when I got to QB Point, they put me on those Kwanzaa, the Marine barracks is where they put me. And then they put me to work. When Pinatubo erupted, it covered the base with ash. Actually, the gymnasium in the base collapsed. The roof collapsed. So before they sent me back to the States, that 30 days I was there at Subic, I worked at Subic. They assigned us to different jobs, you know, like security was one of the jobs, helping pass out meals, you know, until I had to finally I flew out of QB Point on a C-130. I remember the C-130 flew out of QB Point to Mactan Airport, and then from Mactan Airport I flew on another C-130 to Guam. Then I think from Guam to Hawaii I flew on a C-141, and then from Hawaii I flew to Fairchild in Washington State. It was like I felt like a refugee when I was evacuating because you know, when we land at a different base in Guam, at Anderson, at Hickam, they were putting us up in like hangars, and we were like on litter, you know, like the foldable things, and we slept like in a hangar. We're like, and you could hear dogs in the hangar. There's like that was the only time in my life where I felt like I was a refugee. But I made it back to the U.S. and I ended up landing at Barksdale. Barksdale Air Force Base was my assignment in Louisiana after I left the Philippines. Derek, do you use a VPN? No, Derek, I don't use a VPN because in the house here, you know, I have pretty secure internet. It's like through Calibo cable. I think I have VPN on like at one time, but I never used it. People, you know, I don't go online on like bank accounts or anything like that. I went back old school, you know, even here in the Philippines, all my banking here in the Philippines, I take care of it with the passbook now. I don't go into websites here in the Philippines as far as online banking. I have an ATM and I have a passbook because I just don't trust like the online banking here with any of the banks here. I've just seen so many things. I don't have credit cards. I got rid of my credit cards. You know, I'm kind of like went back old school, the old way. You know, like I have a bank book at each of the banks. If I need to withdraw, I show them the passbook. They print it, my balance. You know, I try to avoid online because so many things can go wrong now in online, being hacked and all that. Maybe that's why you mentioned VPN. Good morning, Colonel from JP. All right. Dean, Gotta take a trading break and go feed the goats before dark. All right. Feed the goats, feed the goats. Dazzle, she loves goats, especially the baby goats. You know, she took care of them when she was growing up in Tabon. They always had goats. Dazzle had pigs, goats, chickens. You know, but goat was her favorite. The little baby goats were like that. Even now when Dazzle sees the baby goats here, you know, she always tells you, I want one, but they don't let us have one here. You know, you're not supposed to have goat in our one of the HOA rules here. You can only have dogs or you can only have cats. You can't have goats, you can't have carabao, you can't have a cow here. Good AMG, Fortune, all right. Panay Pasi. I have 30 minutes to spare. All right, thank you. Thank you for joining the live stream, Fortune, for risk board meeting. All right, and Tesla, yes, Tesla, very popular here. Even the restaurants here in Calibo, they have a lot of Tesla students. Like the Backyard is one of the biggest Filipino restaurants here in Calibo. They have Tesla students working there because they have their shirt, their white collared shirt, and it says Tesla on the back. Whatever training they're going through. The hotels, even if you go to the hotels here, they use Tesla students at the hotels here also. Good morning, Fortune from Ted. Good AM, Baluz, PBT, JP, Ted, Lowell, Daniel Colonel. That Tesla it's a great program. The Tesla, I commend the Philippine government for having Tesla because not many people, you know, there's people can't afford college here. And what I like about it is like they're training him on jobs that they can use. You know, like working in a hotel, making beds in a hotel, working in the kitchen. You know, becoming a assistant chef. You know, great opportunity. Yeah. A lot of the Tesla students here in Calibo, they do Tesla, they work in Boracay, get 1 year, 2 years underneath their belt working at the hotels in Boracay. Next thing you know, they're being recruited by cruise ships. And that's kind of like the ultimate goal for a lot of them is the cruise ships because the cruise ships pay well. I mean, it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. I've talked to people that work on the cruise ships. One of my neighbors here works on the cruise ships, and he said he worked 12-hour days, 6 days a week on the cruise ship. You know, it's like it ain't no joke. You know, and you sleep in like really tight quarters with like, you know, kind of like Navy, U.S. Navy type sleeping arrangements where they're like on top of each other kind of thing. But you make good money. You make good money on the cruise ships. Morning Fortune from Lowell. Some skilled workers like welders, etc. Yep, get employed in Japan. Learn Nihongo. But for cruise ship, yes, English is so important. All right, I got a message from Joel, so I'll catch him on well, I can check on my phone because it's in Messenger. I actually can check Messenger on my other phone here. I think he's got a question regarding right here about Phil Health and wanted to verify costs for him and his wife. All right. I can answer him okay. For Phil Health, if you're a foreigner, is 17,000 pesos a year. A year for both. So if you want to get Phil Health, and Phil Health in the Philippines, is only a discount card. It's not a full insurance. If you want full insurance in the Philippines, it's Pacific Cross. It's what's very popular here. But if you want like the Phil Health, it's a nice discount on many treatments. And for 17,000 pesos, if you know, he was asking, it includes the wife. You know, so if they're foreigners, husband and wife only pay 17,000 pesos. That's less than $300 a year. I mean, it's a good deal, I think. And then you get priority. When you have like a Phil Health card, when you go to any hospital here, private hospital, you have priority over the ones that don't. Because the private hospitals, they know that they can bill Phil Health for your medical care. Ginno, 3-in-1 will kill you. Too much sugar. I only have one. I have one a day. Everything I do is like in moderation. I'm not a sugar fiend. I drink one 3-in-1 coffee a day. I avoid sugar. I don't drink sodas. I've never had Red Bull. Like everything I do is in moderation. Even alcohol. I hardly drink alcohol now. I might maybe have one beer every 6 months. And usually it has to be a special occasion. I'm not one of those people that drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee all day. This is my 1 cup, my treat. You gotta live too, brother. You can't like give up on it. I already eat mostly fruit and vegetables. I'm on a low protein. I barely eat any beef anymore. I'm in a low cholesterol. No fried foods for me. No fried chicken. No, man. I gotta have something, brother. I gotta have something, man. It can't be all. It can't be all. And before I got sick with cancer, Ted, I've never had anything. I've never been admitted to the hospital. I was a runner all my life. I got diagnosed with cancer when I was 56 years old. But before 56, my medical record in the military was like that thin. Never got injured. I never had nothing in the military in my 20 years. Never took any medication, even now, I do not have a single prescription medication. I was super healthy. Cancer was just one of those things that came at me. I think honestly, I think it was the COVID vaccine, because like after I got the COVID vaccine, that's when I ended up being diagnosed with cancer. A few months, it's like maybe like 6 or 8 months after I got the COVID vaccine. But before that, and it was my mistake, I probably should have not taken the COVID vaccine. But at the time, people were saying I can't go out the house. Everybody was I'm medical. I've always gotten vaccines. I'm military, man. It's like when I was in the military, we got like a ton of vaccines. I was hospital too, so I even have vaccines for hepatitis. I had vaccines for tuberculosis. I had vaccines for everything in the military because I worked in the hospital. We had to be protected. That's what they said anyway, right? We got to be protected with our in working in the hospital. I even had what was the other vaccine at that time that they had that powder form that was killing people. They were putting on like male things. What was that? Anthrax. I even had the anthrax vaccine in the military, man. So there's all kinds of stuff growing on me. That's why it probably caused my cancer. But it's all good now. I'm cancer free. No medications at all. 0 prescription medication. My cholesterol's good. I'm not diabetic. My sugar is good. Everything is good. Creatinine is the only one that's a little high for me. That's why. But it's lowered already, and that was my mistake too, because people were sending me, telling me drink, to gain weight. I wanted to bulk up. I was like working out, take protein shakes. So I was taking protein shake. Friend of mine bought me creatine to take to bulk up, and it increased my creatinine level, and I stopped all that, and my creatinine level it almost back to like normal level. So I'm gonna get my blood work done again in 2 weeks, and hopefully my creatinine level will be within normal range again. And after that, all my labs, they've checked me, Ted. They've checked my liver, they've checked my kidneys, my prostate. They poked and prodded me. They can't find anything wrong with me, brother. So I'm good. I think I think I can treat myself to 1 3-in-1, brother. Ruben, good morning. Calibons. I think it's not that. That's not how you pronounce it, Ruben. I think it's called. Dazzle corrected me yesterday. Maybe let me Google it, man. But I don't think it's the way you spell it. I think it's Calibonhonan or something like that, man. Calibonhon. So, Calibonhon, maybe? Calibonhon. I'll ask Dazzle. She knows. But it's not spelled the way you spell it. Calibons. I don't think it's spelled like that, man. I just want to give the right information. I don't want to be calling it one way but it's people in Calibo. Because Ruben, he's been living in Calibo now for 11 months. He's one of the Panay Posse members here. He's like been living. And he plans on staying. I know Ruben doesn't plan on moving. Ruben has made Calibo kind of like his home base, but he travels. He goes to Dumaguete. He goes to Angeles City. He's about to go to San Diego, California, and then be back in Calibo. But Calibo is now his new home. Fort Colonel, Daniel. All right, Fort Colonel. Good AM, Ruben, Fortune, JP, Fortune, Master Yoda. Master Yoda, that's Fortune. All right. JP, hello, Ruben. Coldest November to February in Baguio. Yes. Right, yeah. December, man. One year, Fortune, Dazzle, and I were there in December, and it was nice. It was cold up there in December. I love light to moderate rains. I know, Ruben. Good, relaxing, sleeping weather here today in Aklan. Baguio is packed December, Christmas season, and February. Panagbenga season. Oh yeah, I remember we went there. Dazzle and I went there in December. It was like you couldn't drive your car. You had to take a jeepney because it was so hard to find parking, like in Burham Park by SM. It's like almost impossible to like get around Baguio. The traffic was so bad. Ruben, we on the east side of the big island of Hawaii, often referred the frequent showers. Hilo rain. All right, brother, hilo rain, Ruben. Last time in Baguio, July 23rd, left Bacoor 3 a.m. by 7. Wow, that's pretty fast, man. That's really fast. I know that because of the South Expressway and then the North Luzon Expressway, it cuts travel. The last time I drove it, we started in Tarlac. Got on the expressway, and drove up Marcos Highway to Baguio. It was and our tiny car, man, our tiny Toyota Wigo, man, made it up all the way to the top there in Baguio. Already passing on all the tollways except the climb. Just did the regular, not even Cannon. Yeah, I didn't do the Cannon Road. There's two paths to Baguio, Cannon Road and Marcos Highway. And Cannon Road is like steeper, narrower. I always use Marcos Highway when I go to Baguio. Stevie is great value for, I know, man. I know 8K, man. Imagine that, Fortune. He's 15 minutes by boat, and the port is right there. His walking distance. Let me see. I think the guy is trying to deliver my water. Hold on. Hello. Here, I'll take you guys that way. There you go. Salamat. I had to pay the water, guys. 100 pesos for a 5-gallon water. Yeah, that's like, from Tabon Port, his apartment is you can see the port from his apartment. It's a 5-minute walk, and then when he goes on the boat, 15 minutes later, he's in Boracay Island, man. You can't beat that, man. For 8,000 to be that close to Boracay. Ginno, you can still climb one more floor there. Maybe that one has. Yes, I saw that. I saw the metal on there was a climb, but I'm extra careful, brother, when it comes to things like that, because what happened if I fall or something, on the stairs? I'm not as balanced as I used to be, because when I went through my cancer treatments, one of the side effects of cancer for me is vertigo. Actually going up and down those stairs before, I used to struggle with vertigo. It's like, so anytime I gotta climb up, like I saw that I could have an obstructed view. I didn't have Dazzle with me. She was helping out with Stevie in Stevie's room, trying to get him settled. So if Dazzle was with me, I would have climbed up there and filmed it. Maybe next time when I visit Stevie, I'll go up there, because I do not, I'm just careful when, I'm not a young man anymore, man. I'll be 60 next year, so I don't take even that, it's metals. I know there were steps, but I don't take chances. I don't take chances like that anymore. Because if I had to hurt myself there, Dazzle would kill me, man. If I had fell down them stairs or something, Dazzle would kill me, man. I saw that the minute I was filming. I looked, should I or no? I better not. I told myself, I better not. I better not. Dazzle's gonna kill me. La Casa Española is like a service residence. Yes, yes, service residence. Yep. You can schedule cleaning. If you don't want to clean your bathroom, you don't want to clean your residence, they'll come out and clean it. You just got to pay them. Everything, all the service is there. Ruben, just buckle up. Wear appropriate clothing. Have rain jacket, poncho, umbrella in hand, and you're good to go. Yeah, I know. Ruben's riding around in his, Ruben has a Honda Click too. He's got the same motorbike as Dazzle, Honda Click. So, and he's a new rider, so he's still kind of like easing his way. Like me, yesterday I did ride Dazzle's motorbike. It's been the first time I've ridden a motorbike in a while, so I was like, it's a lot different than with a sidecar, with a Bumblebee. And Bumblebee, I'm reckless on Bumblebee. But yesterday I was trying it out here in the neighborhood. I said, ooh, man, this is a little different. So I got to practice. I got to find a place where I can practice riding. And then Dazzle also needs practice on riding the Honda Click. LV, my mom lived on Big Island over Kona, close to the Magic Sands Beach. Wow, nice. Yeah, Hawaii is awesome. My best friend lives there in Mililani. The only thing he tells me, it's like now, Hawaii is just so expensive. Most of your local Hawaiians are moving out of Hawaii, unfortunately. They can't afford Hawaii anymore. They're moving to Las Vegas, they're moving to Seattle. That's what my friend is saying. They're getting priced out, unfortunately, the local Hawaiians. Ruben, no matter, you will get wet somehow. I know, right? I mean, you can't avoid when it was raining here. I mean, you can wear poncho, you can wear whatever. You're going to get wet. La Casa Española is top-notch for Calibo. If I had the guts, I would have chosen location like Stevie's apartment. Yeah, the thing, with Stevie, with Katiklan, that apartment, there are no groceries. And Stevie knows it. I explained it to Stevie. I mean, the cost is, less, but there are no groceries in Katiklan. There is no Save More grocery. There's no SM Cherry. There's no City Mall, Katiklan. There's nothing in Katiklan. Basically, the place where you would buy your stuff you will eat is in the public market. And I'm sure most of you have seen public markets here. And even the public market in Katiklan, it's not, now you see like Iloilo City, man. They just opened this wet public market. It looks like a mall in there. It's so nice. Katiklan is not like that, man. It's basically in Katiklan, it's this one street, both sides, and one story like sari-sari stores. And at the end, that's the main public market. They just pitch tents, like pitch tents, on like dirt floor, So, I mean, Stevie's roughing it that part, there's no SNR, no mall, not a single mall in Katiklan. I mean, this is remote, this is like, to me, I mean, you're close to Boracay. That's the only, there is groceries in Boracay, so Stevie can hop on a ferry and go to Boracay, shop there. But, and you saw the environment, right, JP? Like, even when I was filming, it's all like jungle in there. Even the road going to like the apartment, it's like dirt road. It's not cemented road, So, it's, it's there's something, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Not everyone can, he is roughing it in a way, but he's got AC, he's got hot water, it's not that rough. It's not that rough. But definitely you will be spoiled more at La Casa Española, JP, because the minute you walk out La Casa Española, you're like 100 yards for a 7-Eleven. You know, you're like 200 yards for the to Grand Gaisano Mall. You know, so it's like you got access. You got access to things. Stevie doesn't have access to that, but he knew that. You know, Stevie was about. He's all about. I mean, I'm gonna catch some fish. I'm gonna catch seafood, and I'll cook it. You know, that's how Stevie was. Ruben, I'm from Pahoa in Puna. I know I see Ruben always wearing his Puna hat. 4 minutes away from Hilo. From in Baguio, day one, we did Mirador Park. That's the bamboo garden, like in Japan. You climb them at the top. There's a Torii Gate. Oh, nice Torii Gate. Those tower things. All right, with a nice view. Good for pics. Yeah. The thing about Baguio is that if you're a tourist, you know, I think if you're in the Philippines, it's a must stop. Just kind of like a bucket list item. You're gonna get amazing pictures in Baguio City because the views in Baguio are just amazing. You're like in a mountain. You know, like you're surrounded by mountain. Is Baguio expensive to rent a house? I would probably say yes. That even Airbnb and a house, it would depend on what type of house, or but if it's a Western style kind of house, it's one of the it's a touristy place. Not gonna be cheap. Not gonna be cheap there. And some of the housing in Baguio, it's like to me, I would be worried about landslides. I would stay in like in a condominium, a solid condominium, because in Baguio, some of those houses they build there, man, it's like on the side of the mountain and stuff, man. That would have me worry. I mean, you get amazing views, but that would worry me some. I would stick with like a solid, newer condominium in Baguio if I would live there. That's what I was looking at when I was did my recon. There was a couple of complexes that I was looking at that I could rent, like a 1-bedroom or studio. But condo living is not for everybody because it's tiny. It's like 25 to 30 square meters. So, it's really the size of my living room here. That's your condo, So, and I know that's not for everyone. Everyone, prefers like more room, like a house. Always look after your subdivision guard in the Philippines. Yes, right? Because always like, you have to have a good relationship with the guards because they help us out so much. Like our packages, Lazada delivery, anything delivery, we can just leave our money with the guard and he'll sign for it. Because here, when you buy stuff online here, most of us anyway, when we buy anything online, it's cash on delivery. I don't have a credit card. I don't charge it to credit cards. So everything that I buy through Lazada or Dazzle Buys is cash on delivery. And what we do, we just have a Ziploc bag, put our name and the money in there, and I give it to the security guard, and he signs for the package. You never lost a package because, I'm good with the security guards. Yep, they look after my house. They patrol here. It's like I never have to worry. I've been living here 9 years, never had any incident here in the neighborhood. And I don't hear any incidents of my neighbors either. Really, they have CCTV at the gate. They got guards. So if you attempt to do anything here, and nobody has. It's very safe, very safe. That's one of the plus when you live in a gated community. Jollibee, yeah, I've done that. Like we've even, when we eat at a restaurant, sometimes we'll order an extra meal and then we'll pack it and I'll give it to whoever the guard is at the gate. You got to take care of them. They take care of me. I take care of them. Same with me, J-Boy. We know them by first name. The minute they rotate the guards, the agency sometimes will replace the guard, move the guard to Calibo, they'll have a replacement. I will always go there and introduce myself. I like that I know who's guarding me, right? I like to know who's guarding our community here. Jesus loves us. Yes, amen, brother. Jesus loves us. Fortune. Yes, Captain Ron, the good ones are expensive. Yep, yeah. it's one of the best areas to live in the Philippines. So Baguio City, because of the weather, because everything's there now. It's a city. You got malls there. Oh yeah, nothing like BGC level. Maybe like Tagaytay level. Maybe Tagaytay and Baguio, maybe a little bit cheaper in Tagaytay, maybe, but Baguio is up there. But not BGC. BGC is just like, that's another level here in the Philippines. Man. You gotta be rich. You gotta be rich to be living in BGC. Lowell, I love fresh warm bread, but I haven't bought a loaf of bread in 2 years because, oh, okay, understand, man. You gotta watch your health, and I'm glad, Lowell, that you're paying attention to your health, like I am, man. It's like I get blood work every month. I get full blood work every month because of they have to screen me for cancer, that if just in case the cancer comes back. So I have my labs. My labs, like I said, all my labs are within range. The only thing is that creatinine, because I guess my kidneys, because the chemo that I took in, of course, it's got to clear through my kidneys, and but I'm not into like that range where they have to like what is that like where they have to change blood, or I'm not into that range yet. It's like way I'm borderline like on the high, but I think after 2 more weeks I can get it back to normal. Hopefully. Thing is, the landlords, because of tourists, they prefer Airbnb. Yes, that's the thing. I've noticed that too in Boracay, even Calibo a little bit. Even here in our community, here in Camellia, you can actually, there's Airbnb in here now. They prefer to rent the homes here, that 2-bedroom like mine. They prefer to rent it as an Airbnb because they can get more money. Because a house like this, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath in our community here, normally rents about 10,000 pesos, about $185 a month for my house here to rent it. But if you rent it Airbnb, you can charge $1,000 to $1,220 you can per night. So if you can rent it Airbnb for 30 days, you're getting over 30,000 pesos instead of like renting it for a month for 10. So a lot of people are preferring Airbnb. Same thing with Baguio, because especially a tourist location like Baguio, people prefer, most people that go to Baguio, they're just there for 4 or 5 days. They're not there to live a month, so it's hard. It's hard to, same thing happening in Boracay Island. It's hard to find rentals because they're making so much money using it as an Airbnb, 3 times the money instead of renting it regular. But La Casa Española just happened to have so many units. They have over 30 units, and adding 12 more, they're going to end up with 42. So they have Airbnb at La Casa Española, and they have rentals. So they can manage it because they got so many rooms. Yeah, right there. Right there. See, Fortune, thank you, Fortune, for mentioning that. So harder to find monthlies. Thank you so much, Fortune. Belus, Talking Rain, many Pinoy really play good guitar. Oh yeah, man. Cebu, man. Cebu is like the guitar capital. They make guitars in Cebu. Here in Visayas, Cebuanos, they're good guitar players. And Visayas in general, even here in Aklan, a few of my classmates that I went to college with, good guitar player. Not just like the playing guitar, but even electric guitar. I have one that went to Dubai. He's working now in Dubai as a guitar player in Dubai, in a band in Dubai. I think the drinking problems here contribute to the rain also. Yeah, unfortunately, Filipinos like to drink, man. It's like I think that's for the men, especially the laborers. Belus can attest to this. Any of the laborers here, day laborers, hard-working construction people, farm people, you name it. Anybody here that works like with their hands, like manual labor, They just love their red horse and Tanduay. You know, the Tanduay rum and the red horse, that goes hand in hand with like laborers here, manual laborers here. It's a way, I guess, you know, you have a hard day at work, you gotta have that red horse, you know. On the way down from Tori, you pass by the grotto of Virgin Mary and then went to the botanical. We saw the botanical gardens today. I mean, we did the whole thing. You know, every time we go to Baguio, of course, Dazzle's got a picture with that giant Saint Bernard. You know, she's got a picture riding the pony that has like pink hair. I mean, we do everything too, because usually when we go to Baguio, Fortune, we stay there for like a week. We stay there for a week. We do everything. The night market, the day market, you name it. We do everything when we're in Baguio. We'll probably go back there again in maybe a year or two, maybe. Then lunch, many restaurants there. Ooh, yeah, I know, man. And their vegetables are so good in Baguio. The broccoli, the cauliflower, they grow so well in Baguio. And strawberries, of course. There's a strawberry shortcake that we really like that we had there. And even like at Buram Park, Fortune, we had the best puto bumbong I've ever had. Man, you know, it's like the puto bumbong is not like that sticky rice that gets chewy. The one I had there, it had butter on it. It had like coconut shavings on it. Man, it was like so tender. You know, the puto bumbong is like a treat here, usually during the holidays, usually during the Christmas season. But now they do make it commercial, like you can get puto bumbong at the malls now, but nothing like the original. They steam it, the puto bumbong, and it's amazing. Amazing dessert. Then we checked in Hotel Elizabeth. We got 2 rooms with 4 single beds, each room 2 nights. 6, yeah. Ooh, yeah, you know, it's like even the hotels in Baguio are pricey, especially the months like summer months and December. They up the price a little bit there with nice breakfast buffet. After short rest, we went out to the mansion. Everybody goes to the mansion, of course. Everybody goes to the mansion. American Governor General's summer home, White House. Now it's President's summer home. Then Wright Park, Mindsview Park. Yeah, we pretty much do the same thing. I know everybody does that. It's kind of like a routine when you go to Baguio. All these tourist destinations there. Sounds nice, Fortune. Yes, dinner was in SM Baguio because it has nice multi-level view of the city. Yeah, and I think I've told the story before. What I like was awesome about SM Baguio. It's a mall, like Fortune saying, it's like several floors, and you'll walk around the mall. There's food court, and the coolest thing that Dazzle and I ever experienced, we were walking in the mall, right? I think we were like on the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor, and all of a sudden a fog came in. I mean, I've never been in a mall where a fog came in. It's like inside the mall, the fog came in, and we're like, you couldn't see hardly anything, you know. It was too cool though. It's like, how many can experience that? A fog came in inside the mall because it's open. It's not air conditioned. They don't need air conditioned. So there's an area you can see like the views and everything. So the fog just came in. It came in inside the mall. That was so awesome. Ruben, Baguio is nice to visit, but way too far from the ocean for me. Hey, that's the thing. That's the thing I decided Boracay, Ruben, because it was so tempting. Boracay, Baguio for me. Those were my last 2 choices because I knew it was going to be hot in Boracay. I knew it was going to be hot. You know, at least in Baguio, you got several months where it's like cooler temperatures. However, if ever you had a chance to drive up to the Sierra Madre, you just have to drive through the mountain provinces there. All right. I've never done that. I've never done the Sierra Madre. I know where it is. It's like in Luzon, like central Luzon. tall mountain areas. Next day, we went to La Trinidad. That's the capital of Benguet. Picking and eating strawberries. And then the Stone Kingdom. The Stone Kingdom. I think Mike and Kat, that was on the video, that Stone Kingdom. That they just... JP, La Casa Española has a cafe, karaoke room, and a banquet room. Yes, yes. And you can reserve it like we've done before. The karaoke room, I think 3 hours is 3,000 pesos for the karaoke room. The 3,000 that you pay for 3 hours, it includes like consumables like alcohol, drink, like soda, juices, and food. It's all, you can use that 3,000 pesos to spend in that room. It's a good sized room. We've used it before with Ruben, with Edgar, with Gray, with Mel, the Dazzle, Mama Liana. You can put easily a dozen people in there and do karaoke in their karaoke room. Their cafe, they don't open it all the time, JP. Usually the cafe, they'll open it when there's something happening in the banquet room. That way you have access. But I guess they just don't do enough business during the day. There's so many cafes in Calibo. So to keep somebody there sitting all day in a cafe, I don't think they'll make a lot of money. So what they do when they have a banquet, when they have an occasion there, they use it for meetings, wedding reception. They use it for birthday parties. When they have an occasion on the big banquet room, they open the cafe because people would want to get coffee and everything there. Fronting each other, one of Igorot and one modern European style. All right. Maybe they want to show pre-Spanish and Spanish colonial period. Afternoon, we went to Buram Park. That's where everybody goes. Buram Park is like a park where you can ride the tiny boats, the duck-looking boats, swan-looking boats. You pedal it, you pedal the boat. You can ride bicycles there. You can skateboard if you skateboard. Yeah, it's a nice park. We've filmed a few. We have a Baguio playlist. We have a Dazzle on our Dazzle TV YouTube. There's a Baguio playlist there on our last trip to Baguio City. Words can probably describe what your eyes will see when up there. Also, photos and videos don't do justice to what your own... Yeah, that's with everything, right? Right, Ruben, about the Philippines. You can watch so many Boracay videos, but until you walk White Beach, you just won't know how amazing it is. It's like you can, even sunset at White Beach, you can see it on video, but nothing, the minute you're there. It's just like, you're just, for me, I've traveled the Philippines, I've seen so many beaches. I'm a beach person, so I hit mostly beaches. And to me, nothing still compares to White Beach in Boracay Island. If once I sit on Front Beach and just look at the ocean, look at the sunset, forget the hotels behind me, forget all the hotels, the restaurants. I can just close my eyes, open it, and I remember it just the way I remember Boracay, 20, 30 years ago when I first started going to Boracay Island. That's what I like about it. And you can always find a piece of that in Boracay. You don't have to go to station 1, 2, and 3 with all the tourists. There's always beaches in Boracay like Puka Beach, Diniwid Beach, Tambisaan, or even Iligan Beach, where it's still the way Boracay was 20, 30 years ago because it's not developed yet. So you can avoid, but you get the touristy. If you want all the restaurants, you want the Japanese food, you want the Italian food, the Thai food, the Greek food, they're all there for you to access. We had lunch in Grumpy Joe. I've never tried that. Grumpy Joe, serving Western menu. Ancestral house, nice. I'll have to check that out the next time I go there, Fortune. Grumpy Joe, Sounds, American. Sounds like an American grumpy, grumpy Joe like that. Sounds like an American name for a restaurant. Next day, we did some market for veggies to bring home. Yeah, everybody does that, right? You can get these. They pack it like in a plastic bag, like a long bag, and it's just like broccoli, carrots, you name it, fruit, like cabbage. It's a whole bag like that, really cheap. And it's like amazing the price that you pay for it because they just got so much, so many vegetables grow well in Baguio. Hey, Ross Trade, my brother C. All right, man. Glad you're on the live stream, brother. Man, I haven't seen you on the live stream in so long. Thank you, brother C. That's so awesome. You just made my day, brother. You just made my day. Just seeing your name on the live stream. Thank you so much for joining the live stream, brother C. Fortune, that was on a Sunday. After lunchtime, we went home. This time, the travel was 7 hours to Bacoor, longer because it's daytime travel. Faster if dawn when there are no animals, trucks or jeeps. I know, right? I know, man. Hey, good morning, James and Karen. James and Karen's Adventures. All right, James. Good morning, everyone. Power. Oh, power is up. So far, we have power here. So far, we have power in... Earlier, power went out, but that was scheduled. We were scheduled for 5 a.m. to 7:30, but it came on before 7, before Leanna went to school. And we're also scheduled for 4 p.m. this afternoon till 6 p.m. So another power outage this after. But at least both of them are scheduled. Both of them are scheduled. Good AM, James and Karen. In Kumon Learning, doesn't stop if there are class cancellation regular school in Kumon. You still need to do it doesn't stop. And here I noticed, Fortune, even when it's a declared no school day, the Kumon here still opens. I guess I know why they open even when it's no school day, because they just got so many students, and if they close the day they're open, they're gonna be swamped, man, because every time I take Leanna to Kumon, that room is packed. There's at least 20 kids in there going through Kumon. I guess it's a good business. That is a good business. Fortune, man, they're making money, man. 20 kids a day, 4,000. I mean, they're making good money at Kumon, man. To me, well worth it. Well worth the money doing the Kumon, because Leanna goes to public school. And unfortunately, from what I've seen with my own eyes now for the last 3 years, and it's gotten worse in high school. Now Leanna's in high school. They just don't teach enough. They don't teach enough in the public school. So before, I used to supplement Leanna's education. We would study together, go online, find subjects. But it's getting harder for me because she's high school now. Her math is getting more advanced. She's already in algebra now. So I know it's going to get geometry and trigonometry. I used to know that stuff, but I haven't had that since college. Since Dazzle and I we graduated together. Dazzle and I graduated together. We did have trigonometry. We had that. We had calculus. We had physics, but we graduated in 2016, 9 years ago. When you don't use that stuff, man, you forget that stuff. So I do not mind. I do not mind paying Kumon and get her up to speed with all the math, and then English and reading and comprehension. Fortune, do you know how much are apartments in Baguio? All right, Captain Ron. Sorry, Captain No. Yeah, that would be, the place to start looking, like for us here in Calibo, Boracay, Aklan, would be Facebook Marketplace. That's the first place to kind of gauge how much the rent is in the area, because at least they'll have pictures, sometimes videos of the apartment when you go to Facebook Marketplace and just search for Baguio specifically. And just to give you an idea of what, because you can do Facebook Marketplace for Boracay and see several apartments there. The apartments, like the condo type, Western type condos in Boracay, Boracay Nucos, a one bedroom around 35 to 40,000 pesos, 700 to $800 is what you're looking at. Western style condominium, private, Boracay Nucos is private, secured, very nice, private beach, private like shopping, everything about Boracay Nucos is like exclusive. Have no friends there. We only visit once in a while and just do hotels and Airbnb. Same with me. I just do Airbnb. Last time we went, we stayed at Airbnb there too for like a week. For you guys who are interested in military, you can visit the PMA. Yes, I always visit because I'm military. Make sure when you visit the PMA, bring an ID. Do not go there with that. We made that mistake the first time we visited there. I didn't bring an ID and we couldn't go in because you have to leave your ID with security at the entrance to the Philippine Military Academy. Yeah, it's really nice. It's like the West Point. It's like an academy. So there's cadets there, and then they have parades. They have. It's really nice place to visit. It's not close to like where Burang Park is. You would have to take a taxi. Takes about 20-25 minutes. You got to go down the mountain a little bit to get to the PMA. But we're well worth the trip. Yes, you can't just pop in there in slippers and shorts. You can't. You got to be because it's formal. You got to wear jeans. You got to wear pants, shoes. You can't just, like you can't show up like me. You can't show up like me, always on board shorts and flip-flops. They won't let you in there. And bring an ID. They also allow tours. All right. Belus. Morning, J&K. We had that poly on back garden. We will go white metal. Poly way too hot, like an oven. Okay. All right. That's what Lelong, the construction guy, because we got to replace the polycarbonate. It's been 9 years, the polycarbonate on our carport kind of thing. So he said, go metal. We're going to go metal, the replacement. They have a big camp there. J&K, we're at the Honda in Calibo and had Honda ADV. Yeah, I saw that. I don't think I finished the video. I haven't, it's still... But I watched it. What was the first part? They did, James was showing like I think they look repo, like the repossessions on the ADV. That's why it's cheaper. He did the oil change. That's right. James did the oil change. The synthetic, and I think he had like 1,600 kilometers on his the new motorbike, and they told him the next one is like 2,800. So, looks like James is really like taking care of the engine. He even filmed like when they drained the oil, and the oil was still clear. It was still pretty clear. So it's not burning oil. It's not burning. Sometimes the oil, when they do the oil change, you can tell that it's dark, that something happened to the oil, that the engine burned it or something. But looks like all good on James' new motorbike. Dangerous. Dazzle TV is live. The whole family is watching tonight. All right. Thank you. And I think you're the one that messaged me. I'll message back. So hopefully we can connect like on Messenger if you want your family to like talk with me. It's like one-on-one. If you got questions, because I know you're gonna be retiring from the Navy 2027. So if you want to ask me about the Philippines, what I think, budget-wise, and you got kids, so more than happy to help you, brother. It's like, I have a special heart for military people, especially. I'm one of them. You're my brother. Anytime you're a veteran, you're my brother. So I want to take care of all the veterans, and assist you in any way I can, answer any of your questions. I know the big thing would be education for your kids here in the Philippines. So anytime, man, we'll schedule the call. We'll schedule the call. Michael C, morning, bro. Morning, Michael C, my good friend in Trece Martires in Cavite. Michael C, hope you are well. All right. My cousin-in-law started work from Fortune with Contis, doing the cake that made them famous, Mango Bravo. Mango Bravo. Ooh, wow, sounds good. I'm all for for cake, Mango Bravo. Then got into the cruise ship. Oh, okay, now is assistant pastry chef. Nice. Oh, from a French boss, so he's really gonna be learning a lot of cool stuff there, man. Fortune. Good AM, Michael C, JP. All right, Belus. We have cousin in Japan cutting meat, of all things, chicken. We have a nurse in the USA, Hong Kong. Actually, a lot of OFW here in the Valley. Oh yeah, same thing, man. Belus. My neighborhood here, like this gated community, half of these people are overseas Filipino workers from all over the world. Dubai, Oman, Middle East countries, Europe, it's like Singapore, Hong Kong, it's like, that's why we always kind of like, there's always like a homecoming here, when the OFW comes home, everybody's excited. We hear, how it is. It's not like marites or chismes, but we always hear it from our neighbors. Oh, David is back. He's back from back from Dubai, or back from from the ship. Like my neighbor that's getting his added things work on his house, adding another room in his house. He works in a cruise ship in Hawaii. So I understand, man. It's like OFW in the Philippines. It's like it's just a big community here. A lot of Filipinos. It's like because that's how they would make money. It's like to go overseas. 10. I like and subscribe. Oh, thank you, 10. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Belus, Leyte, never cold. Rains like Seattle or Juneau. All right. My friend Larry, he's from Juneau, Alaska. He lives in Antique now, in Pandan, Antique. He owns a resort, man. LNL Resort in Pandan, Antique. If you're in Antique and Pandan area, check out my friend Larry's resort there. He's from Juneau, Alaska. 364 days a year. Welcome to Leyte. Sun shines too, but rain every day. Oh, okay, all right. I did not know, man. Leyte is the Seattle in the Philippines, and all right, Belus, thank you for that. Good morning, Ginno. Hey, Michael S in Dumaguete, and his partner Che. Good morning. Thank you for joining the live stream. Something simple too. Got a YouTube channel too, man. Check out his channel, man. Michael S and we're kind of like, I can kind of tell, man. I haven't met Michael in person, but we're kindred spirits, and we have the same stuff, man. You're like, now with Michael, he's really focused on health. I was the same way, Michael. Maybe not as much as food, but as working out before I got my cancer. Dazzle can attest. I was a maniac, man, working out. I've always been like a maniac, working out wise, running. I was always a runner. I would run like 5 kilometers a day, and there was 1 month where I measured it just to check. I tracked it every day on I would run, and I had that app where I would run, and for 30 straight days I was running minimum 5 kilometers a day. I put in like 170 kilometers for 30 days. That's how much I love running. I kind of miss it, but it is what it is. Now I'm just walking. I should be walking more anyway, just instead of running, because I'll be 60 next year. So but my knees are healthy. Never injured my knees. No problem with my ankles. No problem with my body at all. That's why people are actually surprised when they meet me. I could do push-ups, I could do sit-ups, I could do crunches, I could do, when I'm in the gym, I work out great at the gym. I don't have aches or pains like I know, which is weird, right? Because I do yoga, I can still do yoga. I'm still, I might not be able to do all the pretzel move in yoga, but I'm pretty flexible, for a 59-year-old. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Derek, the Navy transmitter site was at Kapas Tarlac. I never made it to that site. I know there was San Miguel Communications Base, Camp O'Donnell. Was it Camp O'Donnell? What's the name? With that transmitter? I've been to like the one in La Union, the Wallace Air Station. I saw that during my time at Clark Air Base, because Clark Air Base and Subic Naval Base, those were the two main bases in the Philippines during when the American bases were still here in the Philippines. But there were several bases here in the Philippines. It was just not Clark. It was just not Clark. Camp O'Donnell, San Miguel Communication, Wallace Air Station. You got John Hayes, the recreational base. Grande Island by Subic, that's another recreation. There were several units or several places here in the Philippines that the U.S. military controlled during that time. Good AM, Michael from Duma. All right. Good morning, Fortune. Everyone, take care. God bless. God bless, Balus. God bless. Take care, my brother. Off to the make breakfast. All right. I'm carrying sausage. All right. Sausage and cheese. I don't eat a lot of sausage anymore. I don't eat, like Hungarian sausage, hot dogs, any processed food. Unfortunately, some of the things that I had to give up. Like I said, man, I'm turning into like eating fruit and vegetables. I miss a lot of the food that I used to be able to eat. But it is what it is. I gotta stay healthy. Potato toast and rice. And okra. Oh, nice. And good breakfast there. Good breakfast there, Belus. Wow, sarap, Belus. Good morning, Belus. Good morning. Calm down your eyes, bro. All right, calm down. My eyes. What's wrong with my eyes, bro? Calm down. Jolo. All right, hello and good morning, sir. All right, hello from Angeles, Pampanga. Doug Anderson, happy belated Veterans Day, Gino. Thank you, Doug. Casa Grande, right? I haven't seen your name in a while, but I think you're the one from Casa Grande in Arizona. You're always bringing the morning air. I do, man. It's like, that's me, man. When I wake up in the morning, man, I'm fired up. Man. It's like, even though no sunrise today, I'm always fired up, ready to start my day. Maybe it's the coffee, my one coffee a day, maybe it gives me that boost, but then just happy to be alive each day, man. Each day is a blessing. I do not take a day for granted. It's like, I think that's how most cancer survivors are. We got to look at each day like it's our last day, because cancer, once you get cancer, they tell me this anyway, that cancer can come back anytime. So for me, any day that I can wake up, it brings a smile to my face. Any day that I'm cancer free, I'm thankful, and I'm gonna live each day with vigor, man. I'm not gonna apologize. I'm hyper, I'm full of energy. I'm not gonna apologize for that. It's like, I don't do drugs. Like the guy was saying, maybe my eyes or something wrong with my eyes. I've never done drugs. I'm military, man. 20 years in the military. We get drug tested in the military. So we don't do drugs in the military. Love to see it. Thank you, Michael S. The Colonel, I feel a U.S. postal worker. If you join my live after Ginno, you see why. All right. I'll have to think about that humor there, Colonel. You feel like a U.S. postal worker. Kim, good AM, Ginno and everyone. All right, Kim. I know, Kim. I have a video coming up, man. I know you like seeing Kalibo. Kim likes looking at. I was just at the park. I was just at Pastrana Park. And there was a group there. They're like practicing kind of like a whole marching band with like, the baton twirler, the flags and everything. I was like, wow, I caught them right at sunset and I filmed it. It's about 10 minutes long. They were performing. I was like, man, this is cool, man. It's like a free show. So I was able to film that. I think you'll enjoy that. It has Pastrana Park, the stage, the cathedral, and just the activity at Pastrana Park during the afternoon. You'll see that, Kim. Flyboy, what is the exchange rate today? All right, I can check. I think it's 59, man. I think it's 59, man. That's like amazing exchange rate. Oh, it went down. It went down a little bit. 58.91. Still pretty high. Still pretty high. And that helps the Philippines a lot during this time of the year, December. December in the Philippines is the highest remittance month in the Philippines. More money is sent to the Philippines in dollars in December than any month that from January to November. December is everybody abroad, America, Canada, Europe, they're sending money to the Philippines, to their relatives, like a Christmas bonus kind of thing, or Merry Christmas, it's like they want their people here in the Philippines, hey, here's $100, here's $200. Make sure you guys get that queso de bola. Queso de bola is like a cheese, like cheddar cheese, kind of like aged cheese, like in a ball. Christmas thing. It's called queso de bola. Things like ham. They'll make sure you guys get ham for the celebration. That's why so much money, so much dollars come here to the Philippines during the month of December. And then of course the balikbayan, the OFWs, the tourists, they all come to the Philippines during December. Big month here for vacation. Everybody, I mean, it is so busy. It's the busiest time in the Philippines as far as air travel. If you're flying into Manila, flying into Cebu City, Angeles City, domestic travel, December is like the busiest month here in the Philippines. Flyboy 5888 was 50. Yeah, I saw earlier. I thought I saw 59. But that's why when I checked it again JP, I was like, ooh, it dropped. Ooh, I got another message. See, during the live stream, I've gotten like 5 or 6 messages. That's why I'm always on my phone. Dazzle always gives me a hard time. She tells me my mistress is my phone because I'm always checking Messenger, always checking WhatsApp. I'm always checking my email. Take us a tour of your home. All right, I have a video. That Philippines Live just did a video of my house, the whole house, inside, outside, upstairs. Dazzle's still sleeping upstairs. Mom, I think, took a nap in her room. So, but you can go to that Philippines Live, Michael's channel, and he made a tour of our whole house, our neighborhood even. Took a shower, but I let your live stream run you. All right. Thank you, Michael S. Keep eating healthy and walking, Ginno. Live to walk. Amen, brother. Hey, you ain't gotta convince me, but like me, health-wise, I go to the gym. I have a gym membership. My health is priority. My family, of course, is priority. My health, my relationship with God. Those are like the things that I cherish, and I take care of myself. Like I said, I might have one 3-in-1 coffee, but that's about it. That's the only pleasure I get the whole day. I don't like abuse myself eating fatty foods, bacon, greasy fried chicken. I don't eat that stuff. Burgers, I don't eat that stuff anymore. It's like I am watching my health. Trust me. I mean, I get poked and prodded every month. I got to do blood work every month. Full blood work every month. So, I'm always monitoring what's happening with my body. Derek, did you ever go to Canada? No, unfortunately. I never knew anybody in Canada before I used your YouTube channel. When I lived in the US, I did not know anybody that lived in Canada. So I never had a chance to to visit anyone that lived in Canada. Now I have a lot of friends in Canada. Now I have, from our YouTube channel. Irasa. All right, Irasa. All right. I'm at the end. I'm at the end of the comments here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate everyone's time. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream this morning. Hey, the simplest cup of coffee in the field brings an amazing smile to my face, Ginno. Great time. I know, man, even for me, brother, this one single cup of Copico Blanca every day, it brings a smile to my face because at least I'm still drinking a cup. I'm still haven't gotten completely weaned off by coffee. One coffee a day is all I drink. And I think after all the healthy things I do, I think I'm entitled to my one cup of coffee, man. The Colonel, me too, Kirill. Thanks, everyone. All right, GP, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. I'll see you till the next time. Take care, everyone, and everyone, stay blessed. Stay blessed.